Hello, BluJustin here. Still Justin, still not Blue. Sorry for not being around for a bit. Various reasons, not going to go into them. Lots of excuses, everyone's got one, etc, etc. I have been working on plans for extending or actually making a proper library for the stuff that's all over the house, because as the t-shirt says, I need more space. And so I've been looking into that. That's going to take a while to sort out. But once that's done, I shall give you a full room tour of that. But that's a bit of a long-term project. In the meantime, I thought I'd start off my little return with a nice simple catch-up on what I've been buying, a bit of a haul video. These are mostly the US imports that I've got via Stackry. I think it was about 3 or 4 different batches, because they weren't that small, but some of them have been taken and put into another video that I want to do. Quite a few of them are anime, which I'm separating out for a third video, which is going to be my anime updates for the year. So first of all, we shall just do the Stackry ones that I have imported from the US, and I think you'll find some of these quite interesting. However, I'll start off totally ignoring that and not getting one I imported from the US. I shall get one that somebody else has got from Australia, and that was very kindly given to me by Kermit's Ghost. He got sent this by imprint. He did enjoy it, but he knows how much I really like this film. He checked with me whether I managed to get hold of a Blu-ray or not already. I did have the French Blu-ray, and if that had been a decent Blu-ray, I would have said, well, fair enough, you should keep this for yourself, even though he very, very kindly offered to donate it anyway. But the French Blu-ray is one of those rarities where they totally messed it up and managed to do PAL speed up on a Blu-ray, what you normally get on DVDs or VHSs in Europe, where they play it at 30 frames per second instead of 26 or whatever it is. So it runs slightly fast, which you can live maybe with a slightly shorter runtime, but what it actually does, it raises the pitch of the voices and any musical score in it by half a tone or something like that. And in a film that concentrates a lot on singing and music, that's not the best sort of film to have it in. And anyway, I don't want to miss a single second of Michelle Pfeiffer singing on this one, making whoopee on the top of the piano. Big crush in my youth. So yeah, thank you ever so much to Kermit's Ghost for that. Like I said, he did enjoy watching it, but he didn't think he'd be rewatching it for quite some time. So he very, very kindly donated it to me because he knew I was such a fan. So thank you, Kermit. Right, and now I suppose I should get on with the actual reason I'm here, my Stackry imports. We'll start off with a couple of simple ones. I think I've shown you this before, where I've imported some cartoons. I'm trying to update all my DVD cartoons to Blu-ray. The classics. That and the other. I started off last time with doing all the Tom and Jerry's up to the end of the best era. And now I'm moving on to Looney Tunes. Luckily, despite the way they look on the adverts, Platinum Connection, Thingy Collection, numbers 1, 2 and 3, etc, etc, there is actually a logic to them for some amazing reason. And there is very, very little overlap if you choose the right ones to get, even though they don't sound like they're in the same series, if you know what I mean. So this is one of them you need to get. This is Looney Tunes Platinum Collection Volume 3. I got 3 first, not because I needed to watch any specific ones, but because Volume 3 happened to drop in price, and volumes 1 and 2 were still at normal price. I also picked up Collector's Vault Volume 1. You see, that's totally different than the Platinum Connection, but there isn't what you'd expect to happen is them totally to mess you about by having lots of overlaps, the favourite ones on both, etc, etc. But apparently, as long as you pick out the right ones, then that isn't the case. You can actually do it right. So anybody wants to know which ones I'm aiming to get to pick them all up, please just contact me in the comments or via my Instagram, and I shall let you know. Next up, something that I've been meaning to get for a while, very popular film, animated, and that is Wild Robot, sorry. But in this country, in the UK, it was either going for a small fortune because you could only get the Steelbook by having it in a collector's edition with lots of extra gubbins that I didn't particularly want. But I decided on the American Steelbook because I think the artwork on the American one is nicer. And this is the American one compared to the UK one. Not massively different, but it's a very nice steel. Really looking forward to finally getting round to watching that, and I keep on being told how what a lovely film it is. So yeah, when this limited edition steel came out in the US, I thought I shall pick that up. Next one up is a bit less of an easy watch, but certainly something that I've been after for a while. I think a lot of people have, on and off, because it's so hard to get hold of. It sells out really quickly, whichever country you get it in. It's the same artwork, but it's still like a mini grail in whichever country you try to get it. And that is the Lawrence of Arabia 4K Steelbook with that artwork on. Yep, I managed to get that one from eBay at a very reasonable price. Yes, I could have bought it on eBay and just sent it straight to myself instead of to my forwarding address in America, but they would have charged me 20% VAT plus another £10 to £15 worth of postage to send it to me, and by sending it free to my US address, it got incorporated within a lot of other purchases, consolidated all together to minimize the postage. And as I think I've mentioned before, if you're reasonably lucky and sensible and don't put too much in one, as long as you actually add it up to below the amount that VAT could be charged in advance, even though they could charge you VAT, quite often they don't actually bother or implement that at customs, so they don't actually charge you VAT. It comes through to you straight away. I never rely on it, but the last 10 out of 11, I think it is, I've managed to not pay VAT on the imports, which does make a big difference at 20%, especially when you're talking also an additional saving purely because US titles are so much cheaper anyway, which is another bugbear, but I shall bring that up. I think that's a more recent sort of imports that I've got that will come up in. Next up, bit of an annoying one, this. I was looking around for something that was just a nice little slot that I hadn't got, never seen, and big fan of Chow Yun Fat, so picked up, and John Woo especially when he's in combination, and hadn't ever seen this, so picked up this copy from the Hong Kong Cinema Classics range from Shout in the US of Once a Thief. Now, if that title sounds familiar to any fans of Hong Kong cinema, that's because you're absolutely right. Arrow have just announced that that's the next one that they're releasing from their Golden Harvest collection that they bought the rights for the UK for from Shout. And then they basically, Arrow bought the rights to do it, the distribution in the UK, and then what they do is they take the film and they do a much better job of it than Shout in almost every single circumstance so far. Yeah, but let's not go into the slight mess up on the Killer Disc 3 with the 2 extended cuts on it that wouldn't fast forward for most people, etc., or pause. They've already issued a replacement disc for that, and I've received it. So this next one was a bit of a disappointment because much as I wanted to see the film, and I'm sure it will be great, I specifically chose to get the US Steelbook because of the picture on the website which showed a PTFE slip over an image that meant that you could see most of the image through it. It was mostly transparent over the middle portion, and this is for, if you haven't guessed already, it's the Now You See Me, Now You Don't 4K Steelbook. And as you see, it's the same as the, I think it's the same as the UK one, had the same problem, whereas the PTFE red slip is so thick. I'll just see what it's like underneath. It's so thick or so dark dye on it that you can really not see the image through it like it advertised. So that's just the back, and it separates off, hasn't even got glue, and yeah, that's the, it's just so red and dark. It was, as I understand, that's underneath, which is quite nice, the Steelbook. What I believe was supposed to be the case was that where it was red, or it would allow the red colour through, and where it was, or where it's white or red, it would allow that red colour through, but where it was blue, it'd block it because of the way physics works, which would also mean that double title there of the Now You See Me, Now You Don't, which is an offset red over blue like that, looks like it's like you're looking at a 3D film without 3D glasses on there. Now, if it had worked properly, you could have seen just the red when it came through, and the blue would have disappeared once you put the blue on, and it's got blue on the back, so you could turn it round and do the opposite. And in fact, you can actually see it turns out a little bit better with the blue, because I don't know whether you can see that on there or for you, but you might be able to see there, you can see that shape much better, and you might be able to see that down the bottom there you can see the title that is printed in the blue colour on the Steelbook itself. Whereas on the back you're not getting hardly anything now. And I think the whole point was, when you switched it around, it does work a little bit better now that that's off. It does work a little bit better. It's not quite as horrible as it looked. It's a bit more like it should have looked on the original. So you've got that red there. So that's not quite as bad as I thought. So yeah, and I, just to prove I think how it's supposed to work, on the spine, it's got caught there a bit, that's a bit of a shame. I don't know if you can hopefully see that there. It says, it's not Slux, it's still not brilliant, but it says, now you see me, but you can't see anything else because it's red, only visible through the red PTFE. And now because you can't see the red, you can only see the now you don't through the blue PTFE where that shows through, because they're in different colours on the spine, and that's the whole way it's supposed to work. But in actual fact, because I think they printed it too dark, it didn't quite work. That's a bit of a rattler, but it looks okay. I've got a digital code, but I shall pass that on to Ray's Movies and Media, Rayleigh. She can give that out on her channel next time. So yeah, that is a little bit disappointing where they made the colour too thick, but not quite as disappointing as when just that little extra thickness was on it, causing the reflection. It really meant you couldn't work out what the heck this was supposed to look like. It's not too bad now. So yes, a little bit less disappointed than I thought I might be, but still not as perfect as you might have hoped. Next up, I'm going to do something a bit interesting. Again, this was another situation very much the same as that I just showed you, with the coloured PTFE slip, being able to see some bits through. Now this is the image that they put up on the UK website for the Steelbook that the UK was getting, which, as you can see, shows that the blue colour is way too heavy to look through properly, whereas this is the one on the French website. And I thought, are the French getting a better one than us? They've done it properly and we haven't. I really didn't know. As it happened, when the UK one turned up, and as you've obviously just seen there, we're talking about the housemaid here. When the UK one turned up, in actual fact, it was very similar to the French one, and it had been done properly. So I'll just open this one as well for a few minutes. If you haven't, you haven't. Again, you've got it's not bad at all. Yes, it's looking good. Still haven't seen this. Really looking forward to this. And again, the whole idea being, yeah, got a. Oops, sorry. Yes, because it's a flip. Yes, then you turn it that way. Very similar to the idea as on the Substance French 4K Steelbook. And then, of course, for this set, we've got the appropriate keyholes, which is all good stuff. And but I really didn't know whether or not the UK one was going to look like its advertised picture and make this so blue that you could hardly see through it, which would have been awful. As it is, really happy with that. But because I wasn't sure whether I was going to be happy with it, you can hear what's coming now, can't you? You can guess. I also saw that there was a non-steelbook that I really like the look of in the US, which is a digibook, and I shall see if I can open that properly for you. Lots of pieces of paper going all over the place. And again, loose piece of paper on the back with the specs. And that one's got a totally different image than is on anything else. So really liked the look of it and thought, well, especially if the UK steelbook might turn up and be like it looked in the picture, I might have to send it back, then I must have one that I like. So just in case, I got this one, the US 4K unique artwork, which is quite a nice design. I'm not quite sure how it, oh, there it goes, that's where it goes, and that's the inside of it there. Another code for Ray. So yeah, that's that slides out from inside, and there are your discs and another image. You got those on the inside of the digibook, and this slides up inside there, which I will do afterwards to save time. Okay, I don't want this to go on too long, so I shall just keep on going. Next up, well, it's been a while since I've shown you anything to do with horror, so a very famous, very funny, suitable for horror fans of young age or well, not any age you want, because it's absolutely brilliant, and I've been wanting to pick this one up for ages, and it was one on the, now I've got a Stackry consolidation account. It was going to happen sooner or later, and it has. So that is the 4K of the Monster Squad. Absolutely brilliant. That's, you know, that's how you make the classic 80s movie with, you know, the kids that meet the classic Universal monsters and have to stop them taking over the world type thing, apocalyptic. It's just done so well. The humour in it works on all levels, and I can't wait to revisit it, to be honest, so really looking forward to that. On a slightly more serious note, we got this next one, which I believe is M. Night Shyamalan movie. I don't know that much about it. It's called this 4K of Devil, where a group of people trapped in an elevator high above Philadelphia, a group of 5 people discover the devil is amongst them and no one can escape their fate in this chilling supernatural thriller from M. Night Shyamalan, keeping you on the edge of your seat all the way with a truly wicked twist. So don't do me the twist, but feel free to make other comments in down below, and that'd be great. As always, any comments you make down below, I will be replying to. Always nice to see comments on the channel. Awful printing on that 4K plastic silver. That's just awful. I mean, compare and contrast. It's just, I know it's a bit difficult to say through the plastic, but still, it's just one that's just so much clearer. It's got paints rubbed around the edges and all sorts of it. Awful. Anyway, that's the way it goes. And last up, now I would be tempted to blame Hordes of Horror in my usual Hannah made me do it type way, but I'm doing all of those in a special coming up Hannah made me do it video, where I'm going to get together the US and UK titles that I've picked up because I've seen them on the Hordes of Horror channel. So that's coming up quite soon, so please come back and check for that.
A new video starring me? You shouldn't have.
Yes, yeah, I know. But in this particular case, she didn't recommend this one. In actual fact, I think this one came up on the I'm never going to watch this again list on one of her videos. So it was, I did buy it because I saw it on her channel, but I can't really blame someone for buying something when they said, I'm not going to watch it again. I thought they were a bit pants. And that is, this is a double bill because it's a bit cheaper than getting the film by itself. Bunny the Killer.
You even buy ones I don't recommend. You fool from the coffin section.
Yeah, I know. This has got a drive-in double feature with Sky Sharks, so you can probably guess approximately the quality of that movie by the fact that it's paired with something called Sky Sharks. In Bunny the Killer thing, you've got Finnish young adults heading to a fun at a weekend cabin in the dark woods of Finland. At the same time, three men are up to... I should get the teeth back in. By chance, three foreign men end up in the same cabin. The men seem to be hiding a secret. The party weekend at the cabin becomes a game for life and death when suddenly a weird creature attacks them from forest. Now, you see, that's not my fault. It actually says from forest to terrorise people instead of from the forest. So they can't even get print the back of the Blu-ray properly, so that good. Creature half man, half rabbit, and yes, I'm not going to read out the next bit because if I was monetized, I'd be in trouble for reading it out. Sky Sharks, on the other hand, is much more sensible. In the Arctic, a team of geologists discovers a Nazi warship thought to be lost, on the site where they find a research top secret war critical weapons and created the rocket powered monsters whose pilots are genetically mutated super soldiers and with supernatural powers. The spiritual forefather of the experiment is forced to stop his deadly army of the undead in order to save humanity and the planet Earth from seemingly certain doom. So yes, if that's the sensible half of this, you can tell, yeah. So, yeah, that is the limited number that haven't made into another haul that is going to come up, including the special Hannah Maybe Do It haul, which is coming up soon. And that is it for today, so not too long. I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry for being away for so long, like I said. I shall try to get some more content out quite soon, not leave it so long next time. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, really helps. And please If you haven't subscribed, do the old scanning of the thing, or just hit the subscribe button. And if you want to make a comment on anything I've rated here, or just a general comment on what you'd like to see on the channel, then please comment down below and I shall get back to you. Thanks very much indeed. Bye.